They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Now this throw caught left side, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Sony Michel, his first carry. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Blue 30. Ready? Right. He's telling to the right. Hey. You got 3.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Roethlisberger got a man over the middle, and it's complete. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Ready?
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. They run. Devontae Freeman. The 20. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers.
Makes the score Steelers 7, Eagles 0. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Eagles kick off
Let's go.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh. Watch the screen. Pass. Watch safety green. Watch rock it. Blue draw quarters. Ready.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the
Alpha.
30-yard line.
198. Watch 98.
2nd and 5. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
50, plant. Here we go. Hey, echo. Now.
They'll drop the throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 17 yards and a first down for Philly. Miles Sanders' first carry of the game. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Bravo.
They'll look to throw. And complete to Zach Ertz. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
2nd and 9 now. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They're 2 for 2 on third down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on third down. Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Roethlisberger into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a Keller Witherspoon. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Brings up 3rd and 9.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. They'll set up a throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. And Elliott puts this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. The Sanders has got it complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before.
Ran to the football and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
From the left side, it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it with Williams. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Tackle made there by Nick Perry. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
218, chop.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taken in at the 11. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here. 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Like 80! Alert, alert! Check curls, check curls, check curls.
Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength. Check Mike, man, I'm scared. Check, check, check. Keep these 2. Check, check.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And he will find his man on the outside. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6.
Hey, high 7. Hey, Sam off.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
Big dribble. Big dribble.
He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Sure, go. Cut. Fight.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Eagles have taken the lead. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, so the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Hey, wahoo! Snap!
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Flushed out right. And incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Alert! 24.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Looking deep here for Ebron. And that's caught inside the 35. That's a gain of 31 with right around 1 minute to go in the quarter.
It's your first drive of the second half. You're down on the scoreboard. Maybe you just say to yourself, let's take a shot, see if we can shake them up. And, boy, they hit that one.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Running right, this is Freeman. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Fletcher Cox, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point, just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Eagles defense able to hold. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Check 4, check 37, check the go.
Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? To use timeouts, what are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
17 yards and a first down for Philly. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Williams trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They run it again with Williams. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Hey, Haywood. Get it.
They'll look to throw here. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 28. Well, I'm sure he likes this performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the 4th quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Well, so much for setting the tone of
that huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 32. That's now his second interception and as many reads from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. Again, it's Williams. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Here we go. 50, plant.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Jake Elliott on for the field goal. A 41-yard attempt.
And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.